DreamHack Open is brought to you by Intel, Corsair, Monster Energy, and DreamHack.
We were just hyping it up a little bit more than usual, ladies and gents, with that longer intro, because this could be the final map of the entire tournament, Potter. It's 2-1. Dust 2's coming up next. We know VP do like themselves with Dust 2, and this double AWP composition of Buster and James could be so deadly, but I don't think we can count sAw out just yet.
We certainly shouldn't. They've absolutely shown that they've got a strong game plan, but man, Vince, last time these two teams met, it was quite one-sided. VP will start off on the T side, and they've got some utility. That Xbox smoke going down real quick.
Straight away, flashbang is up and over, and it's good, but it lands in the eyes of Mutrus as well, and he gets dispatched by Yakinda's Glock. And with his loss of life, Catwalk is now open. And sAw have stacked B in middle pretty hard. They've completely given up A here, Potter, already.
This is a quick flank though, Vince. Dodo, hot on the tails. Oh, what a nice shot. He gets pushed, but the cavalry's there. Just 4 members, as you say. They're coming up Cat quick. The Kindar is popping off shots. So accurate. So much damage. They're all dead. Roman, he's the last man alive. Stuck in Gandalf right now. 4 crosshairs just placed on his head. He's got to land some beautiful shots. It's not looking good though, Vince.
Oh, he's denied the ace though. What a scumbag. Yakinda was on for the ace. He had 4 kills, but Buster does clean it up. And it's good to see Yakinda with a smile on his face. He's had a rough best of 3, or best of 5, I should say, 3 maps. But he comes out swinging here, Potter. As you said, his aim there was so crisp, so good.
He's been officially heated up. Better late than never. James got the scout and he's got the tag. It's Dust 2. And James is good for that damage, always through those doors. It becomes so pesky. Roman, he's got the scout too, but... blinded off the angle.
In the right place, right time, and nearly doubles up with the AK as Roman goes peeking, does at least wing him with the scout. Bust up close, spotting just to protrudes it a little bit prematurely. And with Roman going down to the Mach 10 of Kickert, it's looking good for VP to claim 2 very quickly indeed. And you did kind of touch on this before, Potter. Last time the teams played each other, it was very one-sided. It was 16-6. Absolute demolition in favor of VP, and that does scare me a little bit, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, especially considering that was 14 rounds on the T side for VP. Once again, on the T side is VP. And if they're able to replicate even a little bit of that sort of success, that is a very one-sided first half. VP are starting to show glimpses of that. They've been very dominant from start to finish so far. They've handled this force by fairly well. I am glad to see that Dodo, once again, being much more conservative with that economy. He will have enough for that sniper rifle in the first gun round, which will be so important on Dust 2.
There'll be no gun round momentarily for sAw, at least, as they get going for an investment in the last one. They've got a Mach 10 to their hands and a couple of upgraded pistols, and Mutrus deciding with the Mach 10 to try and put a couple of shots up on Catwalk. Nothing really connects. Yakinda Now using his SMG to devastating effect, taking the head off of Roman. Arky's also lost his head, and there's the extra spray, the extra injection of cash. And surely an extra round on top of it.
Okay, those are some nice shots. Just as well answering back. Now Stododo's getting flanked. He gets taken out. Those are some confidence shots. Those are feel-good shots, and that's important, especially heading again into this first gun round. Just to be able to bite back a little bit is going to mean something for this sAw roster. Just will be able to hold on to this AK and save it, moving on into the next. And VP, they're looking confident, man. Yukindar, even though he got laid out at the end there, he's up at 7 kills now.
Seven kills and farming with the Mac 10. Money in the back pocket. However, there will be a buy coming in, and this is kind of what you can expect to see from Source. Dodo typically is a powerhouse on Dust 2. Typically wants to get that up as soon as possible. He now has it under wraps. But can he do anything with it? James also has an AWP. Not far off on that shot either.
Kicker does get pushed off that angle. So for now, sAw, they've gotten control of that long A. Yukindar, he's going aggressive again. Short A is his. The communication has come through. There's just so much traffic going on towards that long A that Yukindar feels comfortable taking space by himself. This is a lot of pressure to Dodo. He's got to hold a different angle from this game helper.
Smoke is up, but no further grenades have been tossed into play on VP. sAw don't fully bite down on this either. They're now taking some long control with Arky tossing in a bit of utility. Still has an incendiary. The timing may work against the Dodo. Extra smoke has come down, taking a different angle. Another smoke, but there's a slight gap in there. The Dodo shoots too early. And Muterus trying to hide in the smoke and listen for some sound cues. But VP, by and large, have made their move over onto the site. Uncontested. No early damage has been inflicted on either team. A 5v5 retake falls upon us. And with 3 players perched at the back of the site, it's looking so good for VP. The first kill, second and third, all go in their favor. In quick succession, this round is put to bed. And Just can do very little but hope that he can smoke off the engagement and try and hold on to this AK. But that is the only thing they could possibly take out of this round now, Potter. They got utterly dismantled.
Dismantled. That's a good spray, but he gets legged, and now that's it. He's out of the server. Done. And that's some dominance coming out from VP. The nades. You saw Stododo. He thought he'd get an angle, even trying to stay anti-flash, but the smoke grenades coming out, clearly giving VP a nice little entrance into that site. And weird scenes. 5v5 pulse plant. You don't see those every day. Stododo has this op, and he's got an opportunity. The B-hop is real. James able to dodge that one. It was a moment for a chance.
And when you're just down to an AWP, you've got to make each and every one of those chances count in the grand finals. When the firm favorites are now taking a firm lead. 4-0, off to the races, looking good for a 5-0. Just one map away from securing themselves as champions of DreamHack Open December. Kicker now behind the Xbox. Yukindar tosses in the smoke. This affords them safe passage up on catwalks if they so choose. And a Molotov towards catwalk funnels in 2 of the CTs. It's a labored spray from Kicker, but fortunately for him, Jane was there to lend him a helping hand. That nearly went horribly wrong. Yukindar through the doors, gets 2. And Stododo can get 1, but he's actually dropped the bomb alongside it. Unfortunately, though, there's so many T's facing off against him, he never really had a chance.
Survival mode for Kicker. Doing his job and doing it well. Not overzealous. Not giving away a free kill. This is VP looking polished right now. They're approaching it really well. There will be that AWP coming out once again for Stododo. And I keep mentioning him because he was a player to look out for. That's some good damage from Uterus, but Jame will be okay. But yeah, I'm still waiting for Stododo to have one of those hero rounds, Vince.
He's the kind of player that's certainly good enough. Love watching him play. Unfortunately, though, as great as he can be individually, I feel sAw are at their best when everyone's pulling their weight. And right now, across the board, they are being outplayed. That is my concern, that we may be seeing deja vu from the last time these teams faced off against each other. Even in this round, they've got some weapons, but one incendiary, one smoke, one HE, one defuse kit. They're just lacking in so many departments.
And last time, Stododo did not have any line of sight here. The smokes all clouded his vision. He's going to attempt it again. Arky, he needs to hold down this long A. He's going to reposition himself and try to help out Stododo, but the timing of everything here is so crucial. Stododo missing his first.
His first and his last shot. Pottery gets instantly taken down from the back, and now Buster opens his account with 2. They've got the flank shut down from Yakinda watching middle, and Roman threads the headshot onto Buster, but it's nothing in terms of rounds. They continue to concede. They continue to struggle.
Oh, man. Arky for sAw. The defense crumbled here. Somebody needed to hold that long A down. You could see it, Arky. He wanted to help his teammate out. They didn't really want to just give up that A site this time. Failed retake attempts. But that's when Sanji pounces. Perfect lurk timing. And again, VP. These rounds have looked pretty dominant. Only 2 remaining members in that last round, but either way, I mean, they're getting into these sites without really taking much damage.
You know, it's easy to get down here on sAw and look at the negatives, but the fact of the matter is, the fact they're in the grand finals, repping Portugal and Spain, they've taken a map off VP against all the odds. They've got to this point. I think there's so much to be proud of. I'm not speaking as if they've already lost this grand finals by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely think they can come back into this. They're almost at a point of having a freedom, a sense of that weight being lifted off their shoulders here coming into this game, I believe. And this is where you've really got to play into that. You've got nothing to lose. Go out swinging. They're going to get some CZs in play. They've got a scout. Unfortunately, they haven't got too many kills in the opening 7 rounds, but that can change quickly as Jane peeks down to long. Arky will get no further involvement in round 7. He's already been suppressed.
Ooh, Stododo looked like he wanted to push forward. Yeah, that's the scout gone, and there was a couple of investments for sAw into some weapons, but I am curious, next round. I mean, we've seen Arky have some success on Nuke with that secondary AWP. Right now on Dust 2, he's not having the best of times. He will have enough to purchase a secondary AWP next round.
There's a slight gap through that smoke that Just is trying to look through. Timing may work against them, though. Still 45 seconds. Another smoke gets deployed. Here comes the wrap. Roman straight into the crosshair of Buster. I thought he got all 3. That would have been sublime, but actually it was Sanji that took that 3rd. Uterus, who tries to get round the back, has been shut down. Not a single loss of life, not a single casualty forthcoming. But sAw, as he touched on Potter, they're going to have an AWP. They don't decide to go for 2, but they now have at least a rifle round to play off the back of.
And I think sAw need a different sort of a look this round. Oh, but VP, they're throwing in a different look. This looks like a quick B hit. James is gonna hold the line.
Oh my. Both? Yakinda? Both of them. Just smacked them both in the head. raw entry fragging power. And now Stododo had an option of sticking in window or taking a little bit of damage from the fire. And he backs away to his teammates' aid, but I don't think they want to go in for this. This is why we highlighted Yakinda having such poor performances over the duration of this tournament, because when he is on point, the guy is an absolute monster. 14 kills, 3 deaths, and so many of them have been openers.
And that was dry as well, Vince. His teammate had the smoke ready on the Molotov, just pouncing. Even if he just got the 1 kill there, it would have been a success, but the fact that he gets 2... Wild scenes, beautiful entries from Yakindar. And that change of pace, man, that even caught me off guard. And I have the mini-map, I have radar, I can see through all the walls.
Oh my god, Yakinda, please. That's not fair. Give them a chance.
Every time James shoots his AWP in middle, it just looks so damn close. Sanji's gonna push forward. He will have the backup of his teammates. And sAw, they're just booking it out. They've lost long A control now. This is a different look for sAw, though. They'll have middle control and cat control.
Yeah, bypassing any kind of long control and instead having 3 in middle. May try and get up round the back through Xbox onto catwalk. They did have an aggressive catwalk player in the form of Arky, but now he's joining Muterus, pardon me, on the site. Stododo is actually their middle player. He has typically been playing on the A side of the map. Because they have given up long, VP again have got here so quickly. They still have plenty of utility, albeit without any grenades, because their 2 smokes have now been tossed in for the cross. That doesn't allow them to replenish those later. And with sAw already moving in, taking the gamble, this could get very scary and messy momentarily. Yakindar now shows his hand, just goes in with 2. James shuts him down. Yakindar spotting heads, needs to try and spring in with more. But there's only so much one man can do. And he's reached his threshold. He's reached his limit. Stododo with 2, and sAw get their first on Dust 2.
And what a way to do it as well. This time the A site doesn't fall. They do lose that long A control, but the fact that they're still able to hold down the lines and hit their shots definitely helped them out, but maybe this time they won't even attempt to go for long A control. It looks like Stododo will take a line, but yeah, they're gonna keep focusing towards this cat. It worked once. They're trying their hand at it again.
He's getting quiet and tense on the battlefield, understandably, considering what's up for grabs. Flick from Stododo. Solid. Right into Jane, taking down his opposition AWPer. Yakinda will fight that early intel with a smoke onto the catwalk, allowing them a bit of safe passage towards the catwalk side. Molly's being exchanged. There are 2 players over here, including Muterus, who's using that stairway as a bit of cover. The flashbang could not have been better placed, though, and Yakinda takes control again.
VP are throwing such good utility, setting Yakindar up. He's pushing through for more, but Arky, perfect timing, dodges the flash, and that's the bomb down. Sanji will go down as well. And it's just all down to Buster. Bomb is right in front of him. He does have a smoke, but he's only got 30 seconds left on the clock. Not too many options here left for Buster. And man, Stododo, what a shot! James was scoped up. He looked ready. I thought Stododo was a dead man, but that flick was dirty.
Yeah, it's kind of unfair to expect Stododo to have like a world-class performance here and have to carry everybody on his back. That's an unfortunate timing to reload for Arky. But I honestly think that's what sAw require if they're going to get back into this map, if they're going to get back into this finals. They need sAw to just have a lights-out performance. The guy's ceiling is very, very high. There's no doubting it. But it's also dependent on if VP allow him that chance to shine. They could just dull him off. They could switch off the kill switch, dull his senses, and just get across the finish line 3-1 here. He's had a couple of moments of brilliance, Potter, but I'm hoping it's just the beginning of something truly special.
That would be ideal for sAw. James is going to bring his AWP down to this lower B in the beginning this time. And Sanji's just keeping them busy towards long 8. Arky's going to go pretty aggressive. It's going to take a lot of damage. Sanji pushes him back out.
Virtus up close on middle. This is also to facilitate a bit of audio information. Call the rest of his teams if he hears players jumping up and down around catwalk. Now, definitely has came in. sAw, different angle. Needs to make this work. Flashes will be preceding that on top of the smokes. Takes the shot right down the middle, but doesn't connect onto anything. Now he's out of position, and he knows those T's are going to be ripping and tearing their way onto the site. Virtus with an important kill, but it doesn't bypass the plant, and he's taking quite a bit of damage from that Molotov. In the meanwhile, though, Yakinda just died. Was that to his own molly?
I think he was trying to plant the bomb, and the molly spread. It was his own. You're right, Vince. He burned alive, trying to get the bomb down. Buster will calm things down. That's a beautiful... Oh, he gets taken down. James is right there, though. Now it's a 1 versus 1. James knows that Just is in CT spawn. There's still 20 seconds. This is the moments that James really shines. Just is being pretty patient about it, though.
Cerebral player with the uppercut flick, and Just takes his head off. I need to see that Yakinda moment. I assume, as you said, it's just the Molotov extended maybe at the last second. Maybe he also got tagged by like a HE or something on his approach. That's really unfortunate, because I think when he died, it was what, like a 4v4, 4v3?
Yeah, because Kicker got that entry onto sAw with the op.
Oh my god, it went round the
boy.
side of the box. That's so unfortunate.
James with the cheeky decoy play. But yeah, VP, they've been slowed down now. sAw are just hanging on last round. I believe that was 3 rounds in a row, Vince.
Yep, that's right.
And against sAw, another entry to start off the round. Kicker goes down.
3 rounds in a row, and I believe it was just after a tactical timeout. He had that very fast play on the B site after the timeout, which VP won, and then that's when sAw put their back-to-back rounds into effect. They've lost the first player, again VP. They're trying to mix it up. We haven't really seen them go for these wraparound plays on towards the B side. They've consistently had middle control, consistently had a lot of presence over on catwalk. Virtus can hear footsteps. Roman comes in for one onto Yakinda, and now Just is going to be tested, and he's passed it so far. Turns his back with a flash, anticipating his teammate will toss it in. A lot of damage across the Buster. They still need to contend with this threat. Buster straight in for another frag, and now Roman needs to wait for his teammates to come into play. Good flash tossed in from sAw, and that should be the round falling into place with a 4th in a row for sAw. It's at the cost of 2 players, but they've made it work.
And then some. Good flashes, good counter utility coming through. sAw dodging the flash even to start things off right. And Just, man, the communication, you can start to see they're starting to liven up a little bit. Just was really swinging his mouse there to dip and dodge that flash. It caught him, but he still did damage through the blind spray.
Yakinda got to 14 kills very quickly indeed. I think he got, what, a 4K in the first pistol round, and then he had his Mac 10. I think he was on 7 after 2 rounds, and he just didn't really slow down. He's been relentless, but a player that's kind of gone under the radar has been Buster. He's on 15. He's tied up with Yakinda, and he has 3 less deaths. Just been plowing sAw at every given turn, but it's great to see that this CT side is not giving up just yet. sAw missing that shot could prove to be costly. It won't prove to be fatal, but in amongst all of this, Mutrus has moved up middle, but Yakinda shuts him down in the back.
So aware. And this time, sAw are going to start out the round a man down. Arky caught with the smoke out, will get taken out. Kicker, they're just going to press the issue. They're moving forward, and as it should. A site, no one is there. All 3 members of sAw are towards this mid area, and Yakinda, he's not even going to go towards that A site. He's already starting his chase.
He wants no survivors, but it's not as if VP's economy can really afford too many casualties here either. Yakinda, 1,500, everybody else below $500, including Buster on absolutely nothing. Additionally, they may not want to give any AKs away and bolster up this arsenal of weaponry. But VP, with already 9 rounds posted up in the next few moments, will feel like it's completely worthwhile to try and cull all of these weapons from trading into the next round. Yakinda straight through, gets the first entry they were looking for, cracking open the site. The second player's gone down. sAw will not hold on. That is a brutal turn of events for sAw.
Kicker just moonwalking slowly into vision there. And just a nice one tap. He even started off the round as well. I like the move coming in from VP. Just chasing through and making sure they take out everyone from sAw. That's going to force a complete save. They do have the 1 flash. It'll be a long play, and this is the perfect call. Flashbang coming through. Sanji should be blind, but Yakinda is there to back him up.
Coming into a shooting gallery. As all the weakened players run out into the firing squad, and VP proving they're not packing blanks. They spray through them, and sAw, they're going to have a good buy for the last round, but best case scenario here, Pot, is 10-5.
Progress, baby. It's definitely better than a 14-1.
Sure, absolutely.
Just trying to look at the positive side of things here. sAw, though, he's not going to be too happy about glass cannoning this AWP. Shame looking for a pick, and Kicker takes out sAw. Mutus is going to be able to retrieve that AWP, but again, sAw, man down. I like the moves, though. Double push. Roman and Just, but they're going to go right into a trap. Yakinda is just right on the other side. Hello, peekaboo. They're taken out.
Making this look easy now, RVP. sAw have a bit of utility for the potential retake, but at a 2v5, these are not many plays that come through successful. Especially when you consider that there's still 2 Molotovs. In fact, there's 3 mollies, smokes. This is going to have to be a miracle. Make no mistake. Mutrus, first up, he started so well in this best of 3. The first 2 maps were his. He's going to have to end his come the second half if they're going to pull this one off. Mutrus flashing himself through into basically the wall. Couldn't see anything. There's a smoke in his eyes. Whichever way he turns, it's going to be death. And going into that second half, now VP 5 rounds away from winning the grand finals.
It's my favorite time of year, and now it's here. Lot of love
The gauntlet has been laid by VP after a dominant first half, and it's pretty simple for sAw. They have got to be flawless from here on out, Potter, or they are done, and VP will be crowned champions of DreamHack Open December.
They gotta dig deep here. Dig real deep. They're starting off fast. Yakindar, though, shutting down this long play. That's gonna slow everything down from sAw. They are pushing the issue. Yakindar's gotta be careful. Ooh, he gets taken out by the car.
It's a lot of kills that goes with him as well, because he has been the man on a mission. Kicker, though, through the smoke, bypasses it and takes off the head of the Dodo. James still at the back of the site, but not for too much longer. He's been collected by Roman's P250, and now both the CTs moving up on long together. This kind of range is typically where the USP would shine, but any flashes or really anything to come back onto the site with is asking a lot. Buster, though, insta headshot onto Roman. It's really securing himself as one of the best pistol players in the world as far as I'm concerned, Buster. He's always a threat. He's always a nuisance. And Kickert's also stepping up to the mark. There's no kits in play for the CTs. They'll feel compelled. Oh my God, Muterus midair just takes the head of Buster and makes it his.
Damn, Buster hitting banger shots once again. Yakindar getting kind of caught off there. It even caught me off guard. Fuck Muterus. Closing it off in style. Yakindar's he's got a Zeus, Vince. Let's keep our eye on him, see where he goes with that. Some scout shots does do some damage, but no one else has bought anything on the VP side.
Fast lead. Don't want to force in and put themselves a couple steps behind. But yeah, as you say, it's just that potential Zeus that's going to be a banana peel. Other than that, you're expecting to see sAw fairly convincingly come through for a 6th round. Start to mount that pressure again. Smoke's now being deployed on the cross, just being very careful. There is a gap in that smoke. If Sanji had a P250 or a Deagle, that could be a problem, but just the USP, it's unlikely it's going to really do anything on the approach. And things should be falling into place here, Potter. I can't really see a potential way forward for VP in this round.
Yeah, it's got to be a monumental mistake for that to happen. Just is about to have a lot of action. He's got to get a good spray down here. He's good for the one. He gets deep down. He's got the backup, though. Muterus has arrived. And it looks like Just will just survive.
Indeed he will. VP, hold fire. They have enough for an AWP, but it would be Kicker dropping down to a glass cannon, and that's exactly what happens. In actual fact, he drops it for James. Good guy Kicker. Leaves in a bit of an awkward position, mind you. He's got an M4 and no Kevlar behind it, but plenty of firepower.
There's not very many players in the world riflers in the world that would be willing to do that, but Kickert, Sanji, Buster, Yakindar, they've all bought into it. James is the happiest opera in the world, having such dedicated players like that. We'll see what James can do with it. He has it close on that cat. That flash is going to push him off the angle.
I'll certainly not be happy, though. Here, Potter, if James goes down without doing anything with that AWP. I've just spent my life savings for you to have that AWP. If you just go down straight away, maybe some questions asked. But obviously, as the IGL, he has that power behind him. Kickert smoked out of position, decides to bypass the smoke, get him a little bit up close, and Buster's lost his life. Just goes in for a second. Sanji wide and slow peeks it. A huge passage of play in tunnels that goes the way of sAw.
Yakindar and Kickert's got to come up huge here. A lot of noise cues, though. sAw, they hear all of this action towards mid. They're going to pivot and go A. James does find the one kill. And the bomb is still stuck right now in lower B. It should eventually make its way up. Oh, the bomber, he gets legged. James, he's going to get baited, though, into this trap. Muterus has already set it up. Things are tense right now, Vince.
I think he may expect to get peeked from the right-hand side, but not the left. But look at the time. 7 seconds to go. sAw will get the plant down. I was worried for a second that they'd misjudged it. James, another pick, should get faced off by Mutrus, who stays in his spot. Finally goes out for the peek, and James realizes, hold on, was he there the entire time? He absolutely was. VP will be conceding, and sAw gradually clawing their way back into these grand finals.
Certainly been a couple of dominant rounds in a row from them, even starting out with that pistol. But this B push from Buster, not sure what the read was, but there definitely was some sort of a call. It wasn't the right one, though.
That's really the play that kicked things into motion, just getting the opening 2 picks on tunnels. A second kill, just as impressive as the first. 2 saved guns, though. James and Kicker will be joined by a few Deagles. The M4 spray does finally take down Arky. It's at great cost to Kicker. Did get dinked down to 19, but the long confrontation has gone the way of the CTs.
James just surviving, getting past. And Yakindar, B mid split. This smoke is gonna be everything. Oh, flying through is Dodo with that P250.
Impressive work. Kicker, the only player on VP, and that did actually pick up the very first kill in the round, now has the arduous task of just holding on to the M4, treating this as a bit of a downtime before VP can get their hands on a rifle. We'll include an AWP. Got round loss bonus now accruing nicely. Still a 3-round lead come the end of this. So sAw definitely can't take their eyes off the prize. Otherwise, VP, as they have shown us time and time again over this tournament, you may get the better of them short term, but typically long term, they will come out triumphant.
Now that VP have stabilized their money a bit, their strongest setup should be coming through, that double AWP. It's what really initiated all of their comebacks on the CT side. But no, Buster, he's gone for the AUG. He's got 17 kills with rifles. He wants to continue that success. Mutus is going really aggressive here, though, towards mid. A lot of nades, but no commitment.
And without that commitment, VP don't have a huge need to stack too much of their focus over on middle. It's just keeping Yakinda here with a Molotov alongside him. Definitely has slowed down a little bit from that first half, and it was really him and Buster that led the charge. This is where you expect to see James start to take over a little bit more with the static style of AWPing. I say that, but he's gone a bit more aggressively towards long doors. Susceptible maybe to being flashed off, but this does allow his team to stack on A that little bit heavier. Problem here for James, though, is if he does lose out this fight, that's an AWP that trades hands. This could get really bad for the CTs real quickly. He's missed his shot. He's being slowed down, still alive. Flashbang is out, and he goes down without much of a fight. But they've seen this before. It was just the drop down in CT last time around. This time it's Mutrus, but they still maintain the player advantage, and VP are being forced back again.
That's the A site gone. They have been forced off, just bullied off the angle. Sanji and Yakindar almost had something going. But Yakindar Fallen just sends the message. Sanji, he's got to get out of there. And man, James missing just a sliver there towards that long A control. And VP's defense is crumbling here. We haven't seen a resemblance of a winning strategy or a winning setup. $11-4 half here.
It's been pretty devastating. Honestly, if your VP, they have effectively just been torn apart. From 11-4 to 11-9, 5 unanswered rounds. And let's be honest, most of these rounds have been very, very one-sided. They've never really looked in them, Potter. They've been destroyed.
Yeah, I think that last clip really perfectly illustrates exactly what you're talking about. James trying to rally the troops. They're discussing their options here. And sAw, they're starting to get revitalized here. sAw had 10 more assists on train than VP had, but 21 fewer kills.
What the VP put into action? They've had their timeout. They've got to buy. sAw have been so dominant that they have plenty of money even after whatever happens down this round. Aggression. Sanji spotted him at the corner of his eye. That grenade does tons of damage. But so does Justin. He knows that Sanji's down in the ramp, but Sanji, while Flashbang still holds on, still threads the kill. And that smoke may allow him safe passage a bit longer, but he has nobody to help him out. He's all alone. Any further action that he can pull off, any further kills, is worth its weight in gold. Well played to Sanji, but it's still a 3-on-3.
You were spot on, Vince. That last kill was huge coming up from Sanji. Desperate times. And he's at least equalized things. 3 versus 3. sAw, they've got the utility to make this cross, and they're going to need it. Buster and James, both with scoped rifles on the cross. James, he's repositioning. Oh, no.
Misses a shot. He's got to land. They've gone in for the boost. Muterus survives on 23 HP. And that boost nearly cost them everything. Buster tries to return the favor onto Muterus, who got that crazy jumping Glock headshot earlier that really set all of this in motion. And again, Virtus.pro are toothless. Again, they struggle. I've got to say, though, James has been very lackluster on this Dust 2 for me, Potter. Like, he's missed some huge shots.
Definitely huge shots. Definitely whiffing when it matters most here. Making things really difficult for VP. But even from the get-go there, man, just a sliver of margins, because initially Sanji, he spotted that player out long A first and was trying to pre-fire the angle, but then his teammate that came to help him got blinded, and it just fell apart. VP are lucky that that round even came down to being that close. But then the fact that Jay misses when that opportunity comes, that's gonna hurt. A late buy coming through, late to their spot. Hopefully this doesn't come to bite VP, but...
It goes back to what you said as well, Potter, that at times it feels like Buster has been the better of the two AWPers. And we've reached that mark here on Dust 2. Take nothing away from sAw, though. They were 8-0 behind at one stage, and now they're back to just a one-round deficit. It's been very impressive from them, but James, he may have had a rough go of it these last few rounds. That's a huge pick that he's taken down for his teammates, even while flashbanged. And it forces sAw away for a few more moments.
That's exactly what VP needed. Now the pressure is on towards this middle. All 4 players of sAw are congregated here. Looks like they'll just leave Muterus and do a B contact play. VP have the defense to be able to hold this off. Kicker, though, pushes through. Muterus is not blind. He is heavily damaged, but this just makes the pressure so much more on Yukindar and Buster.
Could be wrong, but I don't think Yukindar's got a kill in quite a few rounds. Doesn't feel like he's had as much impact. Muterus is looking to drop on the head of Sanji. Takes him down mid-air. He may have just landed before he pulled the trigger. Flashbang is out. This keeps James at bay. Now the call may come through that Muterus is low. And he banks the grenade off, and now James is the last line of defense. He's all alone, and he's whiffing a couple more shots. Finally connects onto Just. Knows one player at least is down in CT. 12 seconds to go. Now Buster shows up. He comes in with 2 kills. The bomb is being planted by Arky. They're not sure if it's a fake. Now they know that's not the case. Jay misses his shot, and Arky puts him down, and Buster was in nowhere near enough of a space to help Jane. He's just peeked off by himself, and he's put this down into 2 separate 1v1s. And now Buster's got to do it all alone. He's got to dig VP out of this ditch. As he moves in, he has no kit. There is enough time, but he's got to get a move on. He just spots the player now, goes in for the spray. Arky survives. How has he not died just yet? How is he still alive? How has he clutched it?
Vince James needed to hit that shot. He took a risk. It was a 2 versus 1. Bomb was being planted, and James thought he had the 1-up. Muterus, though, making big plays. He was so low on health as well. That CT drop was everything, and man, VP just crumbling. That was not a round that they were supposed to lose there. James has forced back into this round, and we're right back into it. Things have not slowed down. It's a conservative buy, though. VP still having some money left in the bank. James is blind.
Unbelievable play from Arky, but as you say, there are some big issues that VP have got to deal with. Maybe some fatigue is creeping in. Well, they have to shake off the cobwebs because in comes sAw. Revitalized, rejuvenated, confidence coursing through their veins. And a spike of adrenaline. James has already been tagged down to 48. sAw all together, clumped on long. They've smoked off the cross. But already VP have 4 players over here, Potter. This could get really scary real quick.
Kindar also has a smoke. He's top A right now. That smoke dropping is going to make things even more sketch. Muterus, he's making his way up. There's so many deagles. Roman finds one, and Kindar still lurking.
Pivoting on the site, damage done. James also chipped in for 1. 3 on 3, 30 seconds left. Kindar still in the smoke. Now shows his hand. That's the bomb that goes with him. It's all down to Stododo. With an AWP, no idea as to where all 3 players are. He's missed his first shot, and James punishes him. In one of the most unlikely rounds, one of the worst buys, or lack thereof, that VP have had, they make it work.
Clutching when it matters. Kindar showing up with the deeg. Those smokes. These smokes have come through huge for both squads, dropping it in the perfect timings. That double op has finally come out. Buster is wielding it.
Plot thickens, Potter. The way that sAw were playing and how poor VP had turned, honestly thought that they were on the fast track to take us to Overpass, the full 5 maps. They still could get it done, but they're being chipped away and eroded of their HP. It is Just, though, that stands firm for the first. James is caught in an awkward angle. No one was there to help him out. Yakinda goes down next, and those big pieces that were shining so bright in the first half, they've been dulled down. They've disappeared.
Wow, VP. I'm not sure what happened, if it was just as simple as a whiff or what, but they had the perfect setup. Sanji was doubled up at long A. But they just die. They lose out their duels here, Vince.
Losing their jewels, maybe just kind of losing their nerve a little bit, Potter. Like, they're so close to winning the finals here. I'm running out of sort of ideas as to what the hell's going on. Because they won with effectively pistols, they at least could get another buy. It's not going to be great on 2 of their members, but they've only won 1 round on their CT side, and that was with an AWP and 4 pistols. Like, every single rifle, they have been comprehensively played off the server.
And I wish I could say that it was due to so much of the utility and pressure that's making James or Yakindar or whoever whiff in those moments, but it's just pretty clear-cut situations, and the whiffs are just coming to bite VP real hard right now. James, he's forced another AWP.
Picking up the pace. A very similar buy to this. Saw them get their only CT round, but under very different circumstances with a stacked A side. This time sAw mix it up. They hit B fast. And they get the rewards for it. Kickert goes down. James will want to save this AWP, of course. That does put sAw in the lead. That is the first time that sAw have led in this entire map. And we're getting into the 26th round.
VP need a pause. They need something. They need to recollect themselves. As you say, this was an 11-4 half. James might be able to survive. And he will. Whew! I need to catch my breath here, Vince.
I think VP do as well. I completely agree. I think now is the time for a tactical timeout, and they agree. They completely concur with that assessment. They are trailing. All of that aggression is now coming up for sAw. They're playing some excellent Counter-Strike.
Today I learned. I did not know that. That's very interesting.
Oh, interesting, yeah. Here we go, Potter. They called the detoxing timeout. They have the weapons they need. Can they bring it back? Can they silence and dull down this rejuvenated sAw, who are taking early control over long, flashes and smokes being put into place? 3 players, though, of VP have been utilized to fend off the initial aggression.
That shot was so close coming out from Just. He had the perfect spawn. He's making his way back to B real quick. Probably want to formulate some sort of a default here.
One thing that has been a recurring theme with VP on the CT side is they've been second to the punch so often. Lost either early damage or early frags time after time. So this being a bit slower paced and no early casualties, maybe that bodes well. They have enough utility to fend off some of these key areas with 3 smokes and an incendiary. 40 seconds coming up on the clock. Seems to me this could be the wraparound B hit. And Sanji perfectly positioned to thwart the first, but Mutarist on the wide swing. Molotov comes out, does negligible damage. Flashbang up and over. And now they need Buster desperately to come through with some big kills. It's a 1-for-1 trade that may not be good enough, as Buster's now been knocked down to 44 HP. Just is watching the close angle, tosses out the Molotov, and more importantly than that, kills Buster on his way in, and VP have got to save again.
Wow, this B mid split coming up huge. Oh man, everything just going wrong for VP here. I thought they had it. I thought they were fine. Sanji trying to have a little bit more oomph behind his Molotov is what catches him. Good start. He had the pounce. He got a clean first initial kill, but that trade from sAw, keeping things tight-knit.
I distinctly remember saying at one point that Buster and Yekindar were both at 15 kills, and that was very early in the game. I think after the first half, they were probably around the 20 kill mark. It doesn't seem to me that there's been that much in terms of surplus frags from those two, and nobody else has really been picking up the slack. You're looking at someone like Kicker, Sanji, or Jame. They've been eerily quiet. sAw taking control again, smoke down onto the cross, Molotov behind it. VP not fully reacting and responding just yet, not over-rotating, keeping their options available, keeping themselves split across the map.
And again, things have slowed down just a little bit. And this is where VP have generally reacted decently. It's just after that initial contact, it's kind of crumbled. Sanji's got the backup of Kicker at this time towards mid, but the action is happening towards short A.
Resilience of sAw in full effect. Mollies and flashes being tossed through middle. Good counteractive incendiary put into position. Mutrus comes out second best on the CT. That was a very important moment. That have allowed him to wrap around. Big frag also coming in. It's going to end on B. Buster with one spray. Tries to get in for seconds, but doesn't get it. But Kicker will finish off the softened target. 20 seconds to go. Stododo keeping himself alive. Could be shot down in the back, but no. Doesn't get peeked. Could go for the bomb as well. Able to successfully retrieve it, but with 10 seconds, VP have actually played this very well indeed. Even if they give up the post plant, as long as they're together, they play as a united force, the round should still go theirs. Jame, first up with the CZ, will not make the same mistake as he did last time. He makes sure the backup is there in case he gets neutralized.
Counter-terrorists win.
And this time, the defense is for VP, holding up strong. The fact that Buster's able to double up at B and Sanji's able to double up at mid definitely helped out. And another tactical timeout coming through from VP. Things are getting tense.
Very CT-sided grand finals. As is reflected with that fun fact, until Dust 2, where everything has changed. You've got to give sAw so much credit, just in particular, as being a real powerhouse. Stododo hasn't quite had that performance, you know, the god-tier world-class performance that we were talking about. But just, he's not going to be overlooked. sAw could still steer their path towards a fifth map. They just need 2 more rounds. Flashes are good, and Sanji makes sure he capitalizes. Just was out there by himself. A freebie for Jame as he falls back, and sAw crumbling a little bit around 28 early on.
This time, Jame, he's good for a shot. That Molotov should push him off this angle. He's able to trade it out with a decent amount of grenade damage. But it's VP coming into the 28th round in full control. Roman, he eats another grenade. And sAw, they only have the one smoke and the flashbang left. It's all going to be on Stododo. He's got to find an opening of some sort. 5 defenders alive.
That smoke will clear fairly soon, and once it does, Sanji should have the drop on at least one of these 2 players. Not much time left on that. Now it's cleared. Haven't got onto the site as of yet, and therefore Sanji pounces. Stododo winged on the cross. VP get back to neck and neck. The money looking a little bit grim for sAw, hence a tactical timeout to figure out what to do next. They could go for a buy, but they'll be missing out on some key aspects of the purchase.
Oh, tough decisions to make here. Stododo, he's been heating up. Do they want to go for conservative? I don't think they can afford to. A lot of tough decisions to make here. Looks like they will start the force. Yakindar with 26 kills.
Yeah, he was a absolute monster in that first half. He's starting to pick it up again here. Aggression from Jane into tunnels. We haven't seen VP go for this yet. Not just with Jane, but anybody. They've been very reactionary. Not really too proactive. But that timing has drawn away. Jane didn't feel comfortable any longer. He pulls back. The thing is, though, with this being a forced by Potter, there is so much pressure on sAw getting success. If they go down in this round, they'll have very little for the next one. But Arky gets the first pick, and it's Sanji that falls by his wayside.
Dream scenario. Sanji just walking straight into Arky's crosshair there. He wins out that duel. It's just Yakindar holding the cross. He does have Jame nearby, but one of these have to hold long A. Yakindar decides to stay on this A ramp. And it's all 5 players of sAw on the short A. Mutus has been dropping CT constantly. Will he do it again? He does.
Flashes are up to the mark. Yakindar and Kickert both getting frags, and Kickert again. They turn this round on its head. Arky gets the secondary frag with the Galil. And Stododo should be able to finalize the plant, but this round is not over. It looked like it would be. When Muterus got up close around the back, I thought that was all she wrote, but instead Buster and Kickert tag teaming their way through on long. They have the AWP, so Buster could get a pick on the approach. Kickert now taking point. Incendiary toss to the back of the site. Buster going in first. They've dropped the AWP. They want to go for the rifles instead. Stododo puts the headshot down range, and now it's all on Kickert. He knows where one of the two are, but no idea as to the position currently of Arky. And with a bomb so low to detonation, he has to pull the plug. sAw just about hold on by their fingertips.
Oh, that AWP going down at the last. That's gonna hurt for sAw. Stododo. He wanted to fall away from the blast, but at least Sanji, at least VP can walk away with that. sAw do secure the 15th, but man, this round was all over the place. Arky finding this kill with the Khalil through that one-way smoke almost just secured everything for sAw there.
Oh, they're going to end it potentially on just a straight-up B hit. It's a really courageous call, but it's misguided. It's misplaced. And VP will take us to overtime. Can they convert? Can they win the grand finals? We're cutting to a break before we find that out.
Well, I may not be dressed in him at Santa Claus Lane. I had a list so big that I couldn't shy away. I had so much fun waiting for that Christmas Day. I wrote down everything I wanted, and you know I had to check it twice. And I made sure to tell him everything. How I worked hard to be so nice. 'Cause when I close my eyes on Christmas Eve, I wanted everything to be just right. Dear Santa, oh dear Santa. Dear Santa, oh dear Santa. Well, I wrote him a letter 'cause I have so much to say. There wasn't anything left that I felt I had to explain. 'Cause I've been so good waiting for that Christmas Day. I wrote down everything I wanted, and you know I had to check it twice. And I made sure to tell him everything, and how I worked hard to be so nice. 'Cause when I closed my eyes on Christmas Eve, I wanted everything to be just right. say. I had everything I wished for and more on that good day. And so I grabbed my pen and I wrote Santa right away. I said, I thank you for all the joy you brought to me and my family. And I thank you for leaving all that stuff underneath.
A best of 5 grand finals would not be complete without some overtime, and so we sprinkled some in for your viewing pleasure. A questionable call for a B rush in the last of regulation, and it didn't work out, and our VP have a chance to make amends. It was 8-0 at one point, Potter, and VP looked like they were going to steamroll to the grand finals victory, and yet here we are.
Here we are. Muterus, he's out mid. The jig is up, though. He misses the shot, and Buster doing work. Oh, he misses the second shot. Muterus has still got this mid control, though.
He does, and with the smoke down, VP may not be sure if he's already crossed or not. This puts a lot more strain on Kickert. He is all alone. Yakinder at least is going to cull a couple out and thin the herd. Kickert's gone unchecked at the back of the site, and there's a spray in. They only lose Buster. VP not only get the round, but make it pretty comfortable in the end.
In the end, indeed, but man, this could have been disaster. Muterus was out mid so early on. Almost finding Buster with his back turned. That could have been an easy double for him if things just go a little differently. Unlucky for sAw, but good thing that VP finally gained some ground. He's out long A already.
Out long A, using that smoke as a bit of cover. VP originally did position 3 players up to try and take the fights, but well-placed flashbangs gave them a bit more food for thought, so they decide to pull back. 2 players up here. Sanji with the AUG on the elevator position. Yakinder's just behind him with the AK. They have James again on catwalk. He's had quite a bit of success over on that side of the map. They may need him to land some consistency because he's missed a lot of shots today on Dust 2. HE's now traded out. Good damage inflicted. The boost up from Muterus, looking towards Gandalf. Nothing forthcoming. Some shots from Sanji, softening up Roman that little bit more. And an incendiary tossed back into towards the Molotov. An even trade of utility, but no kills coming out. But sAw certainly coming out behind when it comes to just the raw damage. Heavy casualties coming into play as they look to splash out onto the site. Muterus taking further damage. Roman down to 7. They've lost the first player, and Yakinder, hiding behind that smoke and flashbang, can now come out for the peak. He swings in for the first and second, and VP now take a 2-round lead.
VP, such a solid A defense. We saw this on those scrappy pistol rounds where Yakinder is just sat up top A, just holding on to the smoke, biding his time, finding the perfect timing of when to drop it. And once again, he's rewarded for that smoke play, just hiding in that goose area. VP, that's 2 solid rounds for them. And an AWP into Buster's hands.
Buster is slowly peeking round these angles that sAw haven't really on the receiving end too often in regulation. Yakinder had a chance to maybe pop off the head of Just, who was looking to play aggro. Has been the pick of the bunch on sAw in the regulation rounds. Now VP actually give up A in its entirety, and it turns out to be a pretty good call because the bomb still isn't over on this area of the map. It still needs to come up through catwalk. Kicker through the smoke pounces onto Roman, and Dodo has to try and bridge the gap. He is the bomb carrier, going for the full plan. Arky on the car. Will be providing a bit of overwatch as there is a gap in the smoke, and 2 of the remaining 3 CTs are making moves through the catwalk side. This round is going to be a difficult one for sAw to hold on to. They need the Dodo to have impact. He's missed his shot. HE's coming out, switches too soon. He's now had to fall all the way back towards Goose. And now that Arky's given his spot away, And with the smoke still in play, maybe VP can just brute force their way back onto the side. They need to draw out the shot. It comes out to Dodo, misses again, and down goes Arky. VP get 3 rounds and they clean sweep the first half of OT.
Wow, the slimmest of margins to Dodo. Holding the line at Goose, I thought he was good for it, but he gets the leg shot off the shoulder peak of Kicker, and that just secures everything. Sanji even holding the line towards that long A in the beginning, he was able to pick off Just, who was able to just kind of single-handedly hold down that A site by himself, or take it over rather. 3-0 start for James. They only need the 1 more rounds to Dodo holding the line at the short A. James is just on the other side of it.
VP with 3 championship points. After a very poor half of CS, it seems like they could have just put themselves head and shoulders above sAw. Here comes a run boost. Yakinda will be jumping around the corner, perfectly neutralizing that potential from Dodo, who'd already dropped down. The timing worked so brutally against him. He was trying to dart back onto long to join Arky. And although there's a lot of grenade damage that's now been inflicted, the post plant will be coming into play.
Flying Yakindar, a thing of nightmares. This is a post plant scenario. You even got Kicker holding the line top mid right now. And that's just it. 2 members of sAw left. Muterus, he's gonna go down as well, and that's VP taking it.
VP will be your grand champions, taking it 3-1 after losing the first map. It wasn't easy, it wasn't straightforward, and very well played by sAw, but ultimately VP were just the better team over the duration of this tournament.
A truly spectacular grand final. Maybe one that we didn't expect after the last 2 maps, but Dust 2 truly was a marvel of a map. sAw fighting back from a horrific deficit, and, well, eventually VP proved to be too much from them. As Vince said, a valiant effort from the Portuguese with a little bit of a Spanish mix. They have fought all the way through, as we said, from ESEA Open to end up here in the grand final, and they've definitely given us a show and given, well, our clear favorites in this tournament a real run for their money. Maui, your man Yakinda, he woke up in this last map.
Yeah, he did. He came through at the end. Great stuff from him. But I got to give a shout out to sAw. They were the runners up of this tournament, but they put up an impressive fight. I don't think any of us expected that last map there to be so close, so tense. And the way that they took VP's map pick away from them, their initial map pick of Inferno. Props to sAw for making it this far, and props to Muterus for IGLing, because he was making some great calls all tournament.
Yeah, for sure. And so, even some risky ones, Blair, going towards the overtime match. We were sort of sat there going, oh my God, he's called a B-rush right at the end. Wasn't the right call this time, but I've appreciated seeing this team sort of grow throughout the tournament, but also not sort of shy away from taking those riskier plays when it really mattered.
Yeah, I mean, after that first half in Dust 2 from VP, I thought it was done. It was done and dusted, no pun intended, I'm sorry. But the way they battled it out in the end over there, like you said, the call from Muterus, yeah, it didn't quite pan out, but they were able to dig themselves out of so many weird rounds. And Maui mentioned this earlier, you know, these 3v3s, the 2v2 scenarios where we see VP coming out on top time and time again. It was actually sAw who were able to do it, and I won't lie, we were one round away from going to map number 5. Who would have thought, like VP being forced to go the entire distance in the grand finals of a DreamHack Open against a team who started things off playing an ESEA Open League? That's just crazy stuff.
Yeah, truly impressive for sure. Of course, we do have to take a look at the other side of the coin, our champions, of course, of DreamHack Open. And the manner in which they did it towards the end was one that was incredibly impressive, like showing resilience. And we have got Yakinda, who's going to be joining us. Huge congratulations to you once again. Back-to-back tournaments now that you have taken the victory. I want to ask you a question slightly off the pan, though. Like, going into this tournament, did you actually know much about your opponents here? Because they did give you a challenge today.
Well, thank you for congratulations. And I mean, we knew sAw. We played against them before, and we saw that they are, no pun intended. We saw that they are pretty, pretty good. Me myself, as I said, I saw the game against Fours, so they improved a lot in these 2 months last time when we played them.
Heading to this tournament, let's not beat around the bush, Akinder. It has looked a little shaky for your team overall, yourself as well personally in this particular event, especially after winning Flashpoint, right? So it feels like you're running on your last little bit of gas remaining for 2020, but then you've pulled it off. So heading into 2021, you're obviously going to be resetting yourself, but where do you kind of see what's the objective for VP in the next, let's say, 3 to 4 months, so the beginning of the year?
Well, I mean, the main objective is to hold on to top 10. I'm not sure if we're gonna be in top 10 after this tournament, but main point is to hold on, to get good experience against tier 1 teams and hold on to top 10, and maybe after 5-6 months we're gonna enter top 5 or something like that. That's the main point, and I hope people are actually gonna send me IP so I join the server, not like this final.
All right. Well, Yakinder, I've talked to you so much over the last month. It feels like about CS. I want to ask you something a little bit less focused on the game. So you guys now have so much prize money in the last couple months. You have the IEM New York CIS win. You have the Flashpoint win. You have this win. I just want to know, with all that money, what are you gonna buy your mom for Christmas?
I actually promised my mom to buy a car, so.
Oh, damn!
Nice, nice.
Does your mum want to adopt another brother? Because I could use some gifts for that, man. Come on, I could use a new car or something. You know, share the love.
Well, congrats, and I hope she loves the car.
Thank you.
I'm sure she will. Now, I want to ask you a question more about yourself. Going into this team, I imagine there was a lot of pressure on your shoulders. Did you believe in sort of such a short span of time you would go on to win back-to-back tournaments?
Well, I mean, we all believe in ourselves. I'm a little bit egoistic person, an ambitious person, so I believe that we can achieve anything, and especially with these teammates, all are sick aimers, and all are making good decisions, and we're working really hard, so hard work just pays off.
Well, with hard work comes normally at least a little bit of time to rest. So I'm gonna let you go. Another huge congratulations even. I've lost for words at this stage, but congratulations on the tournament victory, and go have a well-deserved rest, Yakinder.
Thank you.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably sick of doing interviews at this point. I think we need to get some of the other guys on the team. Maybe Buster can start to learn a little bit of English so we can have a chat to him, because I believe, Maui, you especially, how many interviews is this now? You've had him on your podcast twice, so it must be getting a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I've talked to Yakinder more than I've talked to my parents at this point in the last couple months. So yeah, yeah, I've been all over this guy. Wait a second. Pause. Yeah, no, but I've been talking to him a lot.
Boo. Okay. All right. Breaking heart.
Okay.
Breaking heart.
Wait, I thought we had okay. Another broken heart here. Another broken heart. I'm hoping we can now take a move towards our top 5 plays of the tournament, though, because there have been some pretty ridiculous plays going on throughout DreamHack Open, and you know what? I want to take a little bit of a look at the best one so far, Blair.
The best ones indeed, and it's going to be starting off, of course, with this play from Uteris. I mean, the guy, I feel so bad for them. They played their hearts out. We saw them winning ridiculous deals, and Inferno was truly, truly magical, and it doesn't get even more magical than this. I didn't even see him. No one saw that. All he saw was a corpse.
Yeah, and now at number 4, Buster. This turned heads, and Buster literally turning his head in the game, just snapping hobbits off. Really snappy stuff from Buster. He has been so solid for this VP team. Doesn't always get the most spotlight for the team, but definitely deserves it at times.
Well, we're going to look towards Axile here, just popping heads all the way through. I know that we've spoken about Inters being that man that might have the highest individual skill in this roster, but I don't know. I'm going to hold my breath and give that one over to Axile instead, because this man just pops heads like it's nothing.
Yeah, I feel like if they'd reach the finals, he could potentially be in the MVP. Inter's crucial play from the man. I mean, they say that he is actually the best aimer in the team, and he shows why. Even though, he's not up there in the stats, he's kind of like the Sanji of Gambit. Underrated as hell. But when it matters the most, the man delivers in spades.
Definitely feel that. And here's Dima on the retake towards this A bomb site. Overall 4K, but such a chaotic situation. And it was such a big round for him and Espada. They weren't able to close out this series, but this was our play of the tournament from Dima, just working around these smokes beautifully, finding 4 kills in total.
Yeah, and coming on after this, we've actually got a man that we have to sort of name as our player of the entire tournament, and he did make the list of top 5 players as well. This one was pretty much up for grabs throughout. There were so many players throughout the tournament that even going back to some of the Gambit players, I think if they got through to the final, we would have been going in their direction. Roman, after yesterday's performance, if he'd managed to do it again today in the grand final. Mutiras, even as the in-game leader, had some pretty ridiculous stats, but in the end it had to go to Buster. He was a shining star throughout this tournament, someone who was consistently solid all the way through, and also had a pretty big grand final as well, Maui.
Yeah, Buster, gotta give him so many props for this one, because not only was he performing above average for his team, but this is him in roles that he's still getting situated in, because Yakinder actually got many of his roles when they joined forces on this VP roster. So the fact that Buster can thrive now in this kind of more secondary position, he's not necessarily the focal point of the team in some of these rounds, but he just puts them all together, and he is frequently the glue guy for this team when they need him most.
Anything to add, Blair? And I know you love Buster just as much as the next guy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Buster, I think Maui said it best, right? He is the focal point of the team. He just kind of like ties everything together. He doesn't have the highs and the lows of what we saw from Yakinder. He's not the AWPer, not the primary AWPer, but I mean, he basically is a jack of all trades. And at times, I might even say the master of all as well. He can do almost everything. He's not the guy you're going to be like, just based off an eye test, you're going to be like, oh, wait, I don't remember a Buster frag. That's because you don't need to, because you remember the win, and that's what he delivers.
That is for sure. And again, a huge congratulations to Virtus.pro. Now, something I want to talk about, guys, is 2020. It's been a pretty turbulent year, and in all honesty, like it's been rough for many people, even within esports, but Counter-Strike has kept us all going. And there's been some other people behind the scenes, our production, and of course, our wonderful sponsors, who without them, really 2020 would have been even worse. Imagine if you didn't have Counter-Strike to watch while this had been going on. I think I would be out of here. So Intel, MSI, Corsair, Monster Energy, a big shout out to you. You've not only kept us going with the energy themselves, but also just with all the Counter-Strike we've had throughout the year. And being this the final open, it is pretty fitting that we now take a look at the events that are going to be coming up next year, hopefully on LAN. Please, if my one Christmas wish comes true, let all of this be on LAN. We've got Katowice, all the teams already booked in, EPL Season 13, Cologne, Masters, all coming up throughout next year. It is going to be a fantastic 2021, and well, let's leave 2020 behind us and look forward to that. But hopefully, more importantly, I'm hoping we get to get this crew on the road. Like, I know Dagny might be having a little bit of a nightmare behind the scenes, imagining us three actually being in person, but I would love to see it, guys. It really has been a pleasure, but unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. So I hope everybody at home has a happy holidays. And you know what, Blair, any passing gift, any final words you want to give to everyone out there? I'll let Maui do the same after. I'm not that mean.
Nothing much. I mean, I think you encapsulated it best. It's been a rough year, and I feel like Counter-Strike gave me not just Counter-Strike, but everyone involved in it, and alongside the teams, the players, the people watching from home, Twitch chat as well. I think you guys really helped me and a lot of us through the year. So thank you, and thank you, Counter-Strike.
Maui?
Yeah. Thanks for CS. Thanks to CS for getting us all together. It's been a great year for CS. Sadly, it has been online, but honestly, just hope everyone gets to spend time with their families. You know, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate.
Holidays.
Honestly, yeah, Happy holidays. That's what I can say from us here
more peace
at DreamHack.
Well, thank you very much from everybody at DreamHack Open December. Of course, there is still the showdown to come in a few days' time. And of course, the Intel or IEM Challenge, which will be coming up towards the end of the year. Make sure you check everything out. And from us here, goodbye and have a great holidays.